Hi YouTube and good evening, it's Numistaka here, and tonight I thought we'd have a little bit of a break with the traditional coin video and unboxing, and instead I thought I'd show you something that I actually bought a couple of years ago that is quite interesting, and it's not something that you may have seen very much of unless you happen to own one of these interesting contraptions. And this one is a kind of meld of Germany meets China. The watch was made by a master watch builder called Roland Kemmner, who some of you may have come across, and he builds watches. He kind of designs them from fairly standard parts, builds them to a very high standard, and sells them either by email or out of his eBay shop. But this particular one is really interesting. It's what's called a tourbillon, and it's a limited edition of about 50 watches that he made with a Chinese movement and German parts. The dial is enamel. It's meant to be a very kind of simple watch. It's a complicated watch, but a very kind of elegant watch, a kind of dress watch, which I sometimes wear if I go out somewhere special. It's quite nice, nice talking point to show people the dial. It's quite interesting. But the tourbillon was actually invented in 1795. And it was patented by a French-Swiss watchmaker who some of you may have heard of, Abraham Louis Breguet, in 1801. And the idea behind it is that it would counter the effects of gravity on a watch by mounting the escapement and the balance wheel in a rotating cage. And the idea behind this is that it would constantly rotate and negate the effect of gravity on the timepiece. And they thought that by negating the effect of gravity, then they would make the watch a little bit more accurate than it otherwise would be. I'm not entirely convinced this has been proved even after all these years, but nevertheless it does create a very interesting looking watch because you can actually see the mechanics of it in such a nice way so clearly. And whenever I wear it, it's always a bit of a talking point. This is, by tourbillon standards, a very cheap tourbillon, although it's not a replica. It's a real watch. And but if you get a similar kind of watch made by one of the master watchmakers at JLC, for example, then it might be, you know, a $50,000 watch instead of a $2,000 watch or a $1,500 watch. So, but having said that, I found that the timekeeping qualities of the Seagull movement have been very good. The movement is very, very accurate. And it may not be quite as highly decorated as some of the Swiss movements, but it's a very good movement. I think it's something that, well, really, I thought you might just appreciate something different from coins. You know, even if you're a stacker like me or a numismatist, then, you know, it can get a bit dull just to watch videos of coins. So I thought I'd really give you something else. So take a look at this beautiful tourbillon watch and let me know what you think of it. It's not everybody's cup of tea. It's not a kind of diver's watch. The strap on it is interesting. It wasn't the one that came with it. I actually had this one made by a French strap making company, the same people that supply JLC, Camille Fournet in Paris, and they made it out of this particular type of leather, which I think is quite a nice way of finishing the strap off. I wanted this particular type of leather, which is a kind of glossy, very high quality leather. It's kind of tempting just to stop speaking and just watch the movement. I mean, the movement is mesmerizing. Absolutely amazing. Some of the video footage I took was in slow motion, so you can actually see, like this one, you can see just very, very slowly with each spin of the escapement, you can see that the whole thing goes round one notch at a time in a constant way, and it's actually really quite interesting. But I'm going to shut up now and leave you to watch the rest of this video in peace and quiet. If I can find some appropriate music, then I might play that, but otherwise just the sound of the watch should be more than sufficient. So there you have it, the Kemmner Mécanique Roland Kemmner's Tourbillon watch with a German outside and a Chinese inside, a limited edition of 50, and let me know what you think. Please like, please comment, and please subscribe if you haven't already.